Rock Zone. Kawan J.
DJ One. The mixtape show. The mixtape show.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Mixtape Show. We are live here on KKSJ Kawan J Radio. And it's time for our Artist of the Week interview, man, and checking in from the Knicks game, man. This guy's living the life right now, you know what I'm saying? he goes by the name of JusKolMeAl, man. He's checking us in with the Mixtape Show live from the Nick tape, man. What's the score looking like right now, brother?
The Knicks ain't gonna pull this one off, man. They're pulling it off. Right now, they're looking bad.
See, our listeners didn't think they was gonna get a sports report tonight, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, you got my man, the big guy bringing the ball up the court, 7 foot and shooting 3-pointers. So man, they're not looking good. They're not looking good right now.
Absolutely, man. Well, I ain't gonna hold you up too long tonight, brother. We're gonna talk about you, talk about your journey and everything like that, man. First and foremost, brother, why don't you let the listeners know, man? Born and raised, brother. Where are your roots at, man?
I'm born and raised, man. Roosevelt, Long Island, man. New York. Roosevelt, home of some pretty healthy people, man.
Yeah.
Home of Dr. J, home of Eddie Murphy, Public Enemy. You know, Howard Stern, a lot of us, man.
The list goes on, right? And yourself.
List goes on.
And yourself.
And
man.
myself. I can't forget that.
Yeah, man. So tell me, man, what was your soundtrack coming up, brother? Who was some of the people you can remember really listening to, even before you even get into the hip hop thing, but just kind of like, you know, what was mom and dad listening to and all that? Saturday mornings cleaning up, even watching Soul Train. What's some of the joints she was listening?
I mean, my father, my mother, they were real big on people like Clarence Carter. People like Al Green, you know, some of the legends were on that, man.
Yeah.
So I grew up with a lot of the Funk Brothers music, you know.
Yeah.
Motown.
And that's actually infused into your music too, right? As far as
Absolutely,
that. Yeah.
Man. I can't shut that off.
Yeah.
No matter how hard I try, man.
Yeah, brother. And tell me about
I believe in that funk.
So tell me about when you realized that this is what you wanted to do. When you know. Was it a certain moment, or you see someone on TV, or you was just like, man, I know I can do this? How did that work for you?
Well, the first time I really, you know, I was a young head, but my brother took me to Union Square when and the first time I ever saw Jazzy Jeff on the turntables, hitting the turntables and transforming. I was on my brother's shoulders, man, when I saw that. And that's what made me pick up turntables for the first time. I'm a turntablist by heart.
Yeah.
So that's what I do, and the lyricism part of it came from me just growing up around very sultry, very educated people. You know, so it's like my aunt, you know, like she used to read me a lot of Dr. Seuss books.
Okay.
You know, so it's just like listening to her and her beautiful voice, that inspired me.
Right? Yeah.
Inspired me to want to wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and then when I first heard Paid in Full, Eric B. and Rakim album, my brother came home from work one day. He said, "Yo, I got a present for you. Got me Paid in Full and Long Live the King."
Yeah.
First time I heard those two albums, I was hooked.
and at that point, were you aware? Did you have the awareness of Rakim being from Long Island and all that?
Well, his sound, man. From where I am in Roosevelt, people like Hank Shotley, Keith Shotley. Those are my older family, like close family, you know, like people I grew up around. So they made sure we stayed true to the roots of what they were doing. You know, I was a young man, you know, very young during that time, but I picked up on a lot of that, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the one record, man? What's the one record that you know set it off in your brain? Now you was like, oh, this is hip hop and this is what I want to do. Like, do you have that one record?
By far, the first record I was able to spit every line bar for bar was Paid in Full by Eric B. and Rakim.
Yeah.
That thinking of a master plan. The first time I heard that, I just kept pulling the needle back, and Next thing I know, I was spitting it, man.
Yeah. And then
I never stopped at that.
And then that bass line is so addictive, man. When you hear that track, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't help but to lock in with, you know what I'm saying, with stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Word, man.
So let's talk about when you release your first project, man. What's that feeling for you when you remember back to that, when you released the first single, when you released your first official single, man? What was that feeling for you as an artist and as an MC?
Well, that's kind of funny because my first single that I released in 2020 from the Heavy Is the Head album was really my first real in studio, album. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, it was surreal to hear somebody driving past, blasting my music. Yeah. And around my way, like one of my homeboys, well, I wouldn't call him my homeboy, we were kind of like almost arch nemesis. He pulls up to me and kind of gives me a look. And I'm like, I look at him, he looks at me, he sort of turns up his volume and he puts on a 11575 off the first album. He's looked at me, shook his head, and just drove off. No words exchanged. Man. So that was like, all right, no doubt.
Yeah, that was your rite of passage right there, right?
That was my rite of passage right there, man.
So tell me about that feeling, man. It's as I know you say you DJ too, so that's a feeling when you rocking a set and everybody's kind of, saying, you get the daps and all that stuff. But when you got people singing or reciting your lyrics, man, how does that feel? Like, what's that feeling like, man?
I'm gonna tell you, the craziest thing was one day listening to one of my daughters spit one of my rhymes. Like they were just cleaning their room, and I heard one of my daughters spitting. She's like 8, spitting one of my rhymes, and all I can do is sit there and just smile because I'm like, wow, like that's crazy when somebody else is taking what you're saying, and it touches them enough that they're reciting it. That's something that I feel that anyone who does this, hopefully they get a chance to feel that, because that's something that's going to inspire you when things may not be moving the way you want them to move. Not everything always moves at a fast pace. Yeah. So it's one of those things where those kind of moments, thinking back to, you can sell 10 million records, but to have somebody really be able to tell you or to recite something of yours that matters, and that means it's gonna live forever. Yeah. That's
It's weird, right? It's kind of like the thing that you imagine, the words that you imagine and crafted that translates to somebody else feeling that, and somebody else to recite that back and feel what you felt in another way, man. That's got to be an amazing feeling, dude. That's definitely got to be an amazing feeling. So let's talk about when you're making your music, and I know as an artist you want as many people to hear your music, but when you write your rhymes, who do you have in mind when you're writing your rhymes? What's some of the Who's the head that you know? I know once this type of head is going to hear this, it's going to be a banger. You know what I mean?
Well, some of my favorite rappers, I would say one of my favorite rappers of all time, still I would have to say is Cannabis. Because he at a time where hip hop was kind of becoming dormant. He dropped that. The first time I heard him on the Lost Boys track, it made me say okay, because that was sort of like a style that I had in doing. So it was like when I heard somebody else do it, take it somewhere else, it inspired me to continue to say, okay, like I know I'm doing this for the right reason. I know stay true to what you're doing. Yeah. Because it's real easy to want to conform to what everybody else is doing to try to fit in, but staying true to yourself is where it's really at. Yeah. This is your music, this is what you do. Own it.
Yeah. Is that Lost Boys joint that he did with what Redman was featured on there too? You talking about that one?
Beast from Beast.
Yeah. Yes. That was nuts, yes. Right? That was that verse or that book that he spit on that joint. Yeah. It was the time where it was no hook, you know what I'm saying? It was just him just going in, you know what I'm saying? Just going in. And Cannabis is definitely one of those underrated. And I know he get flack for the freestyle joint with pulling out his book and everything, his rhyme book, but the dude is a beast, man. You know what I'm saying? And
unfortunately, he stepped in an arena that he wasn't ready for at that time, you know? I used to be a battle rapper, but I'm more of a traditional battle rapper, Give me a beat. Give me 30 seconds, 60 seconds, pull an object out the hat. You got to rhyme about that. Any of your boys ad-libbing your rhymes, you disqualified. That means you made freestyle. Yeah. That means you wrote it. Yeah. So I'm from that element. So now you're telling me, you're giving me 5 minutes and no beat, that's a whole nother realm.
Different mentality. Definitely is a
Whole
survival
nother
of the fittest type feeling. Like, I equate that to those UFC guys. You're literally stepping in the cage, stripped down to just your skills. You know what I'm saying? There's no, you know what I'm saying? One of you's gonna get embarrassed at some point. You know what I'm saying? So definitely,
Absolutely.
yeah, definitely, man, definitely, man. So tell me about the stage show, brother. What can we expect seeing you on stage rocking it, man? What kind of energy you bring to the table?
I'm as some people call me the craziest dude in the world. When I'm on stage, I provide the energy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, whether I go first or last. I mean, I had a show recently where I stepped in and the guy was like, "Yo, who wants to go first?" And nobody wanted to go first. He looks at me. He said, "You want to go first?" I'm like, "Listen, brother, it's your show.
Yeah.
You tell me where you want me to go." He said, "All right, you go first." I said, "Okay."
Yeah.
And I went first, and everybody after me was like, "Yo, man, we gotta follow you." I'm like, "I guess." You know, because I bring the energy, man. Sometimes, and it's funny because recently I really started doing shows more and more, and I had to scale back on some of my antics because, you know, my boys had to tell me, "Listen, Al, we were in front of 20,000 people and you had pyrotechnics and you could do an intro like that."
Yeah.
But for 100 people in a small spot, you don't got to do all that.
Yeah.
Because they scale it back a little bit. I'm like, all right.
But you got the biggest stage in mind already though when you're doing all of that. You know what I'm saying?
all the time, man. All the time. You know?
So like you said, you just released a project. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna play the single too here in a little bit, man. What's the reaction you've had from your latest release, man? What's some of the things you've been hearing?
Well, my actual the Al Taylor project is releasing at midnight tonight.
Okay, all right.
Midnight tonight, you know. But as far as like my single Boulevard with the video, I mean, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from it. Like, a lot of people told me that this is the move that they've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Like this album is like, you know, that's why it's called the Al Taylor Project, because I mean it's mine, it's me.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just Call Me Al, not any other name I've ever had before. No, it's Al Taylor.
Yeah. Is this would you say this is probably your most personal project?
I would definitely say it's my most personal project, because I literally this is the first time that I've actually linked up with other producers and found music outside of my own creation of music that fit. As a producer, you know, it was real hard for me to step out of the realm of making my own beats and doing it myself. Like this is the album I actually said, okay, you know, I'm not going to engineer this album. I only made maybe 2 beats out of the 12 tracks. I think I made 2. Okay.
All right.
You know, the other 10, I went outside, found some dope producers from around the globe. From around the globe. You know, I stepped from around the way. I went around the globe this time.
How hard is that for you as a producer? Because, like I said, you kind of the one-man band right now. How hard is that to kind of entrust them with your sound?
Not hard at all, because as a producer, you kind of know what you want to hear. You know, a lot of times, you know, if you don't really have a production background, you know, you could just run into a producer that everybody likes. He'll just give you a beat and say, "Hey, yo, here," and you're trying to make something out of the beat instead of finding a beat that fits to what you want to do. You know, so it's not very difficult as much as it is trying to find a needle in a haystack as far as finding the right sound.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely, brother. So I know you said this is personal and things like that. And I don't want you to give it away because I want the people to tune into it. Are you addressing some personal things that you may have not told people before in your music, or is this are you completely just kind of vulnerable in this joint, or how would you explain this entire project?
I would say that it's more on the lines of me actually, like, you know, I have a song on there that I literally made because somebody I know is looking at jail time because somebody put hands on their daughter and they took action into their own hands. So I, as a father of 2, felt a personal reaction to that. So that's why I made the song called 2 Seconds, because, you know, it's really telling, you know, showing brothers that, yo, you can't just be putting your hands on somebody's daughter and think that's safe. You know? You know, from there to, like, you know, I have a few songs on there where I literally said, you know what? I want to show that I am a lyricist. You know, so I don't believe in wasting bars. So to me, it's like every song, every bar matters.
Yeah.
You know, I know wasted bars.
Yeah. Don't take
wasted bars.
no bars off, right?
No bars off. No bars off.
I hear you, man. Well, congratulations on that release, man. I'm definitely gonna check it out. I'll support that joint. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be available on all the platforms, the streaming and all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
All right. And tell us the name of that project again.
The Al Taylor Project.
The Al Taylor Project, and you got this single Boulevard we're gonna play here in just a little bit. What's some other plans you got for the year, man? What's some other things that you got lined up that you can actually talk about?
Right now, I'm in the process of doing a few more visuals on the video side, and I'm trying to shoot a movie short, man. 'Cause, I have a hip hop series that's available. It's called OG Told Me. It's on my iTunes. OG Told Me Part 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to actually put that into a visual form, like a mini movie type.
Okay. All right.
So I'm working on that right now.
All right.
And hopefully I get involved in a couple of tours. I know, a couple of tour bookers that are doing some things. So I might want to take a shot at that, man. Take it across country.
I hear that. Things are opening up again now, man. Things are starting to, you know what I'm saying, look good for the indie artists right here, because I know everybody's kind of put on adult time out for a little bit with this COVID shit. So it's good to see that people getting back out on the road and earning bank again. That's definitely a positive.
See, I'm in a Nick game with no mask on, man. That's what I see today, man.
You having a day, man. You got Nick game, got the album dropping, brother. You definitely, you know what I'm saying, you winning right now, man. Congratulations on you, man.
Appreciate you, man.
So what else, man? Production wise, you doing any production with any other artists that we should be looking out for?
Well, what I just recently done, like I literally took 45 of my dopest tracks and mixed them, and mastered them down. And my homegirl Lively, you know, she's an up and coming artist right now. She's one of my first people I'm doing some production for, and actually reaching out and taking some of those beats I might have used for myself and putting them out there. Like my man Snooze there, he got one of my tracks coming out soon. You know, so I'm starting to touch a lot of people's ears on the production side now.
There you go. Dope, bro. Definitely keep those doors open, man. Well, excuse me, I'm gonna let you get back in a little bit, man. But I tell everybody who comes on here, man, once you are on this show, man, we consider you alumni. You know what I'm saying? We call you. Like
I'm here, brother. I left the game, bro. I'm here.
You are officially Mixtape Show Boom Bap alumni, brother, and that just mean the door's always open. When everything you got anything popping, man, just come on back. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna definitely tap into this album when it drops and listen to it, man. And I may bring you back on, and we'll chop it up about the album, man, and just kind of break it down, and you can kind of let me inside your head a little bit about what you was thinking on some of these tracks and stuff like that.
No doubt, man. I appreciate you, my man.
Not a problem,
man. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem, man. Who you want to shout out, bro, before we get into this Boulevard track?
I'm gonna shout out my man RMG from RMG Studios. That's my engineer. My man Jamar Milton. My man Logic, LOG1K, Snooze Daily, Lively. All my peoples out there. My man Mike Shoddy. We're doing it, man.
Yeah.
Having some fun. My man True Allah. That's my man right there. We're doing a lot, man.
Yeah, and it's funny. I talked to some of those guys a couple weeks on the show from the studio and everything. And I'm originally from New York too. I'm from Queens in Rockaway, and
Far Rock.
Yeah,
right.
so I come back every once in a while, and I think I got a trip planned coming up in May. So I was going to go link up with the guys up there and just do some interviews at the studio. So
no doubt, we can go to Goodies, man. Get a burger, man.
Definitely. I'll keep you looped in, brother. I'll keep you looped in, and whenever I get my dates confirmed, I'll let y'all know and we can set something up, because it'll be dope to kind of meet everybody. You know what I'm saying, and do this for the show. So yeah, man. How about this, man? We're gonna get into this Boulevard joint. I'm gonna let you get back to the Knicks game and everything, and I'm gonna peep the album. You know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna get back with you sometime next month, and we'll bring you back on and talk about the project. How about that?
I appreciate you, homie.
Definitely, man. He goes by the name of JusKolMeAl. I had somebody ask me about that. I was my promo team was like, they looked at your name and was like, I can't say this, man. I said, just break it down phonetically. Break it down phonetically, and you got it.
Phonetically, thank you. Break it down phonetically. Now, somebody asked me, where you come up with that name? How you come up with that name?
Yeah.
You know, and it's funny. I did a show so many years back, and I was going through like different name changes at the time. So the MC asked me, he said, yo, what's your name, man? I said, yo, just call me Al. Al, man.
Yeah, just call
It's
me
all right,
Al.
cool. He got up on the stage. He was like, coming to the stage, just call me out. And it stuck with me.
It's dope. I like it. I think it's dope. I like that joint, man. Dope.
Appreciate you.
All right, man. This is the Boulevard joint, the lead single off the new project. We're gonna check it out. And when the project drops, I'll share some links so we can have our listeners go peep that joint as well. We'll bring you back, like I said before, man. And other than that, man, enjoy the rest of the game. Get home safe out there, man. And we'll do this again soon. All right.
All right, homie. Appreciate you, dude.
All right, let's get into this Boulevard joint. We'll be right back. And hold on for just a second. All right, brother. I'm gonna talk to you off here. All right.
Follow DJ Kawan on Instagram at Kawan J.